Hello and welcome to the MCQ lecture series. In today's class, we are going to look at some of the important multiple choice questions with respect to Indian economic environment semester 2, which is the economics general paper for FYBA. So let's get started. The first question is, the challenges to tourism based services in India are dash, and the underlying options are A, lack of marketing, B, security issues, C, transportation and manpower issues, and D is all of the above. So here the challenges to tourism based services in India are denoted by all these 3 points, that means transportation and manpower, then security issues as well as lack of marketing, and hence option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this question. I hope the question is clear. In the next question, we are looking at the challenges to insurance based services in India, and the question is framed in this fashion. The insurance based services have dash challenges in India. What are the challenges to insurance based services? Whether it is A, lack of awareness with respect to insurance, B, the initial high investment which is required in terms of insurance, C is the uncertainty associated with insurance, and D, all of the above. So here insurance based services have all these 3 challenges, that means lack of awareness, uncertainty and high investment, and therefore option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this question. I hope this is clear. Let us now move to the next one. The recent trends in service sector in India are what? Are dash. The recent trends in service sector in India are A, e-finance, B, e-commerce, C, digital banking, and D, all of the above. So here the recent trends in service sector in India are denoted by all these 3 points, that means digital banking, e-finance as well as e-commerce, and therefore option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this particular question. Let us now move to the next one, which is a not sort of a question. Which of the following is not an e-commerce platform in India? Not an e-commerce platform in India. Okay, so let us look at the underlying options. A is IndiaMart, B is Flipkart, C is Amazon, and D is Nile. So this is a very easy question, but here the trick is we have to identify the one which is not an e-commerce platform. So Amazon is one, Flipkart is one, IndiaMart is also an e-commerce platform, but Nile is not an e-commerce platform with respect to India per se, and therefore option D, Nile, is the correct answer to this particular question. I hope the question is clear. Let us now move to the next one. The next question suggests that what do you mean by digital economy? What do you mean by, or the meaning of digital economy is what? The underlying options are A, finance based economy, B, computerized technology based economy, C, people based economy, and D, none of the above. So here digital economy particularly means the computer technology based economy, and therefore option B, computerized technology based economy, is the correct answer to this question, which talks about the definition of digital economy. I hope this is clear. Let us now move to the next one. Digital economy is also known as what? That is the next question. It is also known as A, web economy. It is also known as B, internet economy. It is also known as C, new economy, and it is all and the last option is all of the above. That means all these 3 names are synonymous to digital economy. So here the correct answer is all of the above. That means digital economy is also called as new economy or web economy or internet economy. So here all of the above, option D, is the correct answer to this question. I hope the concept of digital economy and the various names associated with digital economy are pretty much clear. Let us now move to the next one, which talks about the characteristics of digital economy, and the question is framed in this fashion. Which of the following are characteristics of digital economy? Whether it is A, it is direct, B, it is innovative, C, it is personalized, and D, all of the above. Here all these points, that means digital economy is direct, innovative and personalized, is true with respect to the characteristics of digital economy, and therefore option D, all of the above, is true with respect to the same. So here the characteristics are it is direct, it is innovative, and it is personalized, and therefore option D is correct. Let us now move to the next question, which is again in relation to digital economy, and it is talking about the demerits of digital economy, and the question is framed in this fashion. The demerits of digital economy are dash, and the underlying options are A, data security, B, complexity or the interface is really difficult to understand. C is the frauds associated with the or the crimes associated with the transactions, and D, all of the above. So here demerits of digital economy are denoted by all these 3 points. That means it is complex, the crime or frauds associated with the same, and also the data privacy or security. So here option D, all of the above, is correct answer to the question which talks about the demerits of digital economy in India. So here option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this particular question. I hope the question is clear. Let us now move to the next one. The limitations of e-commerce in India are what? Limitations or weaknesses of e-commerce in India are, option first is the security associated with e-commerce, B is tax issues, C is the technical problems associated with it, and D is all of the above. That means security, tax issues as well as technical problems are all limitations of e-commerce in India. So here the option D, all of the above, is true. That means technical issues, security issues as well as tax issues are some of the limitations to e-commerce in India, and therefore option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this question. I hope the questions are clear. I'm giving you questions or the options with respect to all of the above is because we can cover up the major limitations or issues in this fashion. Otherwise, if I give you a question with respect to a not sort of a question, then it will be really difficult to cover up that. But anyways, this will at least give you a sense of how the e-commerce in India is like and what can be the possible challenges or limitations to the same. So I hope both these questions are clear, which the first one was with respect to the demerits of digital economy and the next is talking about the limitations of e-commerce. Let us now move to the next one. The key drivers of e-finance in India are what? E-finance, here please pay attention to these words. The key drivers of e-finance in India are what? Whether it is A, globalization, that means with globalization you opened up your economy and there were foreign players coming in the Indian economy, and therefore we started witnessing e-finance. Second is strong regulations, that means the Reserve Bank of India started taking cognizance of the issues arising with respect to the regular banking and therefore moved towards something called as e-finance. Then we have competition and all of the above. So here the key drivers of e-finance in India are denoted by all these 3 points. That means competition, strong regulation as well as globalization, and therefore option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this question. I hope the question is clear. Let us now move to the next one, which is talking about e-finance, and the question is framed in this fashion. E-finance is used in dash services in India. What kind of services I use e-finance, or e-finance is used for what, or what kind of services in India? Whether it is A, internet banking, whether it is B, bill payments, whether it is C, online brokerage, or D, all of the above. So here e-finance is not only used for bill payments and internet banking but also for online brokerages, and therefore option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this question. I'm here specifically looking at the uses of e-finance or the service of e-finance per se in Indian economy. I hope this question is clear. Let us now move to the next one. The next one is with respect to service sector or the growth of service sector, and we are looking at the causes. So which of the following are causes of growth in service sector in India? Causes of growth of service sector in India, and the underlying options are A, economic affluence, B, growth in information technology, C is liberalization, that means you opened up your economy, then last is all of the above. So here, which of the following are the causes of growth in service sector? All these 3, that means liberalization, growth in information technology as well as economic affluence relates to the reasons why we witnessed growth in service sector in India, and therefore option D, all of the above, is the correct answer to this question. I hope the question is clear. There can be other reasons as well, but I have highlighted these 3 important reasons per se. Anyways, let us now move to the next one. Which sector is the largest employer in India? Here I am looking at largest employer in India. Which sector is the largest employer in India? Whether it is A, primary sector, B, secondary sector, C, tertiary sector, or D, none of the above. So here when I am looking at employer per se, it is always the primary sector which is the highest employer or largest employer in terms of provision of employment in India per se, or sectoral contribution of employment per se. So primary sector has the highest share in employment but the lowest share in GDP. So you see this sort of dichotomy here, but anyways, largest employer is primary sector and largest contributor to GDP was tertiary or service sector. So we have covered that question in the previous lecture itself, the link for which I'll keep in the description. You can go and check that as well. But anyways, the largest employer in India is the primary sector or agricultural sector. Okay, I hope this question is clear. Let us now move to the last question in this segment. The share of service sector in GDP is dash percent. Here we know that GDP has the or rather service sector has the largest share in GDP per se, but what percent of that entire GDP is accounted from the service sector per se? So whether it is A 15%, B 30%, C 55% or D 90%. Here this is a factual question and the correct answer is 55%. So here the correct answer is option C, 55%. The share of service sector in GDP is around 55% in India. So I hope these questions are pretty much clear. Please stay tuned for more. Thank you.